As you're all aware, we're awaiting word from Austin to see how the state budget shortfall will impact us locally. Mr. Bayless and I have spoken with Senator Nichols and Representative Hamilton. Mr. Bayless will discuss the details of those conversations in his committee report a little later. What I want to do is to give you a brief review of the past 9 months. When this school board took office, when the school board took office, we knew to perform our duties properly, we needed as much information as we could get. We formed committees and divided up areas of responsibilities. Our desire was to increase the amount of information provided to the board to make the best decisions for the district, our children, and the taxpayers. One concern was the information provided in the budget process and the desire to know more before voting on the budget. In light of this information we had on the 2010-2011 budget and the limited time we had before adopting the budget, the board decided to set aside 5% of the $30.7 million budget, or approximately $1.5 million. We then set out to gather information and begin working on the 2011-2012 budget. That's the process we're in now. A short explanation of the district's fiscal of the process and the district's fiscal calendar is from September through August. We adopt a budget in August. Federal dollars that have not been appropriated at this time and the time that we adopt the budget. Therefore, the district does not have the information available. The board adopts the district's operation and debt service budget in August, which meets the requirement of the law. In the past, the federal funds have been handled separately as they become available. We have asked that the information be included in our financial packets when it is received. Federal funds have a very narrow scope and use, and they are heavily regulated. The district must submit documentation to the specific use to the agencies administering the funds. The documentation is monitored by the TEA and is audited in our annual financial audit. As a result of the heavily scrutiny these funds see and the law that applies to these, the law does not require that the board approve federal funds. However, in order for us to make informed decisions and to fulfill our responsibilities for oversight, we will be reviewing the use of these funds in the future. In December, we contacted an audit firm to conduct an internal audit to look at payroll, purchasing, budgeting process, which includes federal funds. The audit began in January and should be completed next week with a report to the board next month. In October of 2009, the Lumberton ISD school board adopted a strategic plan for capital needs. This board picked up that work during the summer and fall of 2010, prioritizing those items and developing a plan on how to move forward. This plan includes many items such as how to address the needs for new classrooms, athletic and fine art facilities. The plan was developed via a committee of administrators, district staff, and board members. The plan was based on the ideal that we had set aside 5%, or the $1.5 million from this year's budget, and would do so from future budgets. This money would be used to fund the projects with the current challenges facing the district, and with state funding possibly being cut. At this time, we are going to delay the strategic plan, or moving forward with that, and we should pick that up during the summer before we start the budget process again. I want to remind everyone that the workshops and committee meetings, that things are discussed and ideals are considered. This is how information is shared and how plans are developed. It is healthy to explore alternatives, to consider options, good or bad. What is not healthy is for these discussions to be repeated as fact or foregone conclusions. No policy is changed without the vote of this entire board. The next few weeks and months are going to be very difficult. We will have to develop plans for dealing with the anticipated cuts coming from the state. The administration is working to bring a plan to the board in the upcoming weeks. We will be meeting every Thursday until we have finished this work. We are sensitive to the issues of communicating our plans to the staff and to the taxpayers. We have asked that the administration look for ways to get information out. As always, the public is invited to the meetings, and you are all welcome to call us if you have questions. We will listen and do our best to answer your questions. On a positive note, last month we had an individual donate a strip of land behind the high school and intermediate school. It's about 8 acres. And we want to thank the city for their work in getting this done. This property will give us many more options as we move forward with our strategic plan in the future. And I'll thank you for that. We move now into committee reports.